So we're not handing over to JoyNews Interactive. We're actually going to the Supreme Court, where the current Chief Justice is holding her last hearing. Enjoy this. My name is Enima Inimado. I'll see you tomorrow.
Progress means emotional, intellectual, and spiritual laziness. The easiest way out. No. We need to go with the flow, not complain too much. Complain about important things, but not about trivialities. Now, going back to thanking God, I will say that God, at every step of the way, made my boundaries fall in good places. Somehow, even when I didn't know, it always worked out like that. And then on hindsight, I would see that I was being prepared for something further along. And therefore, my greatest thanks go to God for all the various situations in which He placed me, in which I found myself. Some of them I didn't understand, some of them I was protesting, but in the end, it all worked and has worked and continues to work for good. And I thank Him very, very much, and will continue to thank Him every day of my life. I thank Him also for giving me the sort of parents that He gave me, people who were disciplinarians, and I used to really knock against and kick against the discipline. But I'm always grateful that even though I was never able to tell my dad that I'm thankful for the discipline, I was able to tell my mom that thank you for all the knocks, the canings, the blastings, the insistence and all that. And she said, really? And I said, yes, and I mean it. They were very good parents, and I think as my siblings who are here will vouch, I think each one feels the same way too, and even some of the grandchildren that they brought up. In line with the Lord making my boundaries fall in good places, the day I was sworn in as Chief Justice, and the dawn, that's when the Judicial Secretary had noticed a message he had sent me that I was expected to say something after the swearing in. And I didn't know what to say. And as I was thinking, it suddenly struck me that my boundaries have been in good places to such an extent that every president we have had in this country since the current constitution has had a significant impact on my life. President Rawlings, out of the blue, I think for no reason, nominated me and in the end swore me in as a Justice of the Supreme Court. I never applied for it, I never dreamt it, I never really desired it, but it just happened. President Akuffo, also out of the blue, nominated me to the African Court on Human and People's Rights. I hadn't even heard of it. And, the first time I heard of it was the late Justice Akwa telling me I should send my CV to his office, to his secretary, because I'm being nominated for appointment to the African Court. So I had to read up on it. President Mills taught me taxation in law school, and was, I always said, was one of the kindest lecturers I had, very patient, and had patience for my lack of knowledge of arithmetic. And so he even passed me in the finals. And whilst I was in the African Court, as president, he always made sure the ambassador knew what the court needed so that Ghana can support us before the summit of heads of states. And President Mahama was also the same way. Every time he would ask me if there's any particular thing the court needs, so that, and if they don't understand it, we can properly explain it to him, so he will move our cause for us. Therefore, I had a very successful stint at the African Court. I was a member for 2 years. I was vice president for 4 years, and then I was president of the court for another 2 years. I don't think anybody since then has had a career like that in the African Court. And of course, our current president, President Akuffo, he was my first senior when I was out of law school. In fact, I was moonlighting. I was doing my national service at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and in the afternoons I would go and help him out in the chambers, the UV, Campbell, and Co. And because of that, I was able to participate very actively in the very famous case of Mensilo Rice, where a number of important landmark decisions in civil procedure as well as corporate law were chalked. And that's where I learned to really work very hard. Nana Osei-Tutu, please, yes, Dr. Prempe. I know him as Dr. Prempe. Yes, he was also one of us in Campbell and Co. And we used to work very hard, really, into the night. And then they will take me to some nice dinner, or sometimes we will go to the cave and dance, and then I go home. So I learned to go with the flow, so to speak. You work hard, but build in enjoyment of the process, so the hard work never daunted you. I wish to thank the Lord for all these people who peopled my life and made such a great impact on me. I also wish to take this opportunity to thank Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, who has been my secret back support, whether I'm happy about something or terribly unhappy about something. I would call him. If he did not pick up, eventually he will call me back, and I will sometimes cry, sometimes complain, and he would always give me heart. And my greatest gratitude is to him, and I thank him for sending such a powerful group of representatives to come and represent him here I was officially informed that Nana Asokore-Hene would be the official representative, but I didn't know that there would be additional supporters. Thank you all very much for gracing this occasion. And I'm so grateful also to my pastor, Pastor Mensa Otabil, whom I sort of met